Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the desert Southwest in Arizona. We were scheduled to go wheels up about an hour and a half ago to Denver, and then a connection from Denver on into Munich, Germany. Let's get a look back over the valley here, and we'll see if we get wheels up to Denver and then into Deutschland, hopefully. Stay tuned. Guten Tag, good day. We have made it out of Arizona. Actually, we got out last night from Arizona, about 3 hours late, but we did not make it to Munich. So this is not Germany. This is Aurora, Colorado, on the outskirts of Denver. And my hotel is about a mile that direction. And I thought I would just kind of get some steps in, because plan is to catch the flight at 4 p.m. Although this time not on United, it'll be Lufthansa over to Munich, which will get me in early morning. Scheduled, I think, about 9:30 in the morning into Munich tomorrow. So got to Denver last night, missed the connecting flight by probably about 2 hours. And United was pretty good. They put me up in a hotel, gave me a couple bucks for food voucher. So I still have the food voucher. It's about $30. And I think I'm going to wait till I get to the airport and kind of have a proper meal. Though $30 probably won't go very far in Denver International, but got also free Uber rides to and from. So I got to say, United actually did a pretty good job of taking care of their stranded passengers, and there was quite a few of us checking in around 11 o'clock last night. So plan is, here, let's go back, grab the bag, catch the Uber ride to the airport. It's 11:50 right now. Flight leaves at 4, so we got about 4 hours. Go back, get checked in, find some food, head to Deutschland. Good morning from Denver. Welcome to Denver International. $5. $10. Shop around, can't beat those prices. 2 hours till wheels up. Nine hours and 10 minutes was the flight time from Denver. We land here. It is much warmer in Munich than it was in Denver. 83 degrees Fahrenheit for a high today, 28 Celsius. So we have to do the entry-exit system, the new EES, which is just come into effect in Europe. But I did that on my trip here at Christmas, so I'm going to be curious to know if I have to partake in that whole biometrics, do your fingerprints and all that, or if I can go right to passport control. Well, let's go find out. Certainly one of the coolest airports in Europe, if not worldwide. Right when you come out of Terminal 2, you have this little courtyard area, and there's a beer garden So Munich is famous for the Hofbräu house, but here at the airport you have the Airbrau beer garden. So you can sit out there on a day like today where it's going to be 80 degrees and have a cold one. I don't know what the beer of choice is here because I've never been in there. But you also got a grocery store there. You got the Rewe and then McDonald's, so McCafe. Grab a coffee before you hit the airplane. But right through that direction is going to be the train, and we're going to go catch about 50 minutes worth. And I think we're going to buy the all-day ticket so we can use that for about 20 hours up until like 7 a.m. tomorrow or 6 a.m. tomorrow. It is just after 10 a.m. now. All right, from Munich. Well, it might be a little bit early to check in as it's 12:15 p.m. right off the train station. You walk out of this cute little village here. We're in the suburb of Haar, H-A-A-R. And it says it is a 17-minute walk to the hotel. So probably can't check in yet, but maybe we can at least drop a bag off and get rid of a little bit of the gear. Actually, it feels a little bit cooler out here than it did at the airport. We do have a pretty nice breeze going right now as well. All right, let's make tracks to the hotel. Well, first impressions of Haar. Everything looks very German, doesn't it? It's like a, I don't know if it's a wine. Yeah, it looks like a wine something or other. A lot of people, maybe like a wine tasting right here in the middle of the day. Well, this is a Saturday. Feels like a Friday because Friday was kind of a, most of the day was spent traveling, so it didn't feel like we even had a Friday. And then we land here Saturday morning. I'm bundled up because when I did my little intro video in Denver yesterday, I think I said it was in the mid 50s. So, you know, like mid-teens. Oh, check this out. A church right here on the corner. And then the plane was just a few degrees above freezing, it felt like. Man, they put that air conditioner on and they just, I don't know what they try to accomplish on that, but everybody was bundled up under the blankets. St. Conrad. So I really would like to get out of the sweatpants and sweater, maybe into shorts and a much lighter shirt. Gasthof zur Post. Quite interesting there. So I think my map said this direction. What a lovely little area. Part of Munich I've never been in. Gotta say the weather is much better than the last time I was in Munich, which was New Year's Day of this year. Boy, that was a cold day. Snow, wind, the whole deal. A little restaurant here. Yeah, we'll have to come back out and explore a little bit. Definitely a European spring vibe. I'm gonna look back towards St. Conrad one more time. All right, let's go drop the gear off. Well, I didn't think it would happen, but at 12:40, able to check in. She, I said, I know I'm a little early. Can I at least drop a bag? And she laughed. She said, you're definitely early. But she says, I think I have a room. And I'm like, wonderful, because I would love to shower and get into some cooler clothes. So this is pretty standard, just a double bed, nice television on the wall. Got a window that opens, which is great if it cools off a little bit later. And then a little step-in shower, sink area, and then we got a little in-room toilet here. Not a bad deal for the area. I booked this about a month and a half ago, but it was all told about $44, I think. around 38 euros. So pretty good deal. I'm gonna check out our view out the window. I think it's gonna put us right on the front where we just walked in moments ago. Indeed. Oh no, look, they're not gonna let me open the window. Or at least they're not gonna let me open it very far. That's okay, it's got air conditioning. There's a little bar downstairs. And it looks like there's looks like a fruit stand. Erdebeeren, strawberries for sale. Right on. Guten Morgen. 4:30 a.m. on my second day, first full day here in Haar on the outskirts of Munich. So landed yesterday from Denver and made it till about 3:30 in the afternoon. I knew I was not going to make it very long, but about 3:30 in the afternoon I lay down and I did not wake up till midnight. And then I kind of dozed off and on a couple more hours. But the plan right now is I'm going to head down to the train station. My 24-hour train ticket is good for another 90 minutes. So I'm going to take that to the Westbahnhof. Yeah, morning coffee in Munich. It wasn't the one I wanted. Jorma's is the normal go-to. €2 for a cappuccino. This one, 4.5. But this is quite a bit bigger. We're at the the East Bahnhof, the train station on the east side. Well, good afternoon. We are on the move. You can see we got all the gear piled up on us. The day bag on the front, the big bag behind. And I am switching hotels, so I don't remember why I only booked one night and then 2 nights here in Munich. Why I did not do all 3 together. But I've traveled enough to realize there had to be a reason. And I don't remember what the reason was because I did this a few months ago. But yes, today we are moving from down here in Haar. As you look across the field area, there's a sign out there in the middle. I think that might be for the neighborhood. But we are moving on from Haar and we're going to Feldkirchen, which is exactly where I stayed for a couple nights back at New Year's. So it is a 7-kilometer walk. Call that 4 miles. There is a bus that I could have caught, but I would have had to walk a mile back to the train station, and then I would still have another probably half a mile after I get off the bus. So I figured, you know what, save 10 euros and let's just go take a nice little walk through the Bavarian countryside, which is exactly what we're doing now. It is kind of rural looking. Going to a high of 30 degrees today. 30 degrees is going to be about 85 Fahrenheit. Not there yet. It just hit noon. I had to check out of the other place at 12 o'clock. I was actually up quite early. I tried to film a video, but the camera cut out. So GoPro's doing that weird thing again where the battery gets to 75% and it acts like it has no juice. But did go have a coffee and then went back to the hotel and ended up with another one actually downstairs in the restaurant area. But figured now it's time to throw the bags on and make the walk over to Feldkirchen. Looks like we're coming into a little village here. I'm sure it's part of Haar, but maybe we'll have some interesting things like this to check out along the way. More from Munich. Yeah, walking into another little community along the way. Nice church here in the middle of town. This is a Sunday, meaning the majority of places like grocery stores and drug stores are not open today. Garner Hotel. I think I looked this one up as a possibility to stay. Well, kind of glad I didn't, because this is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. My other place only had a 15-minute walk down to the train station. Looks quite German, doesn't it? Feldkirchen. That's the direction we're heading. 4 kilometers. Haar, where we just came from, I was about a kilometer in from that, so we've probably gone about 1.8 kilometers. Grunsdorf, that was the other little village that we walked through a little ways back. Some advertisements here for Decathlon sporting goods. They got this in English, the Garner Hotel. Yes, I did look at this one. So that's breakfast and a la carte. That's in English, because you got Monday through Sunday, and this is Montag through Freitag on this side. All right, we'll follow the sign and continue on. I guess this is still technically part of Grunsdorf. So far it's been all flat, which is nice, having the bags. Google Maps said mostly flat. I've learned to never trust that. That's not always accurate. All right, according to my watch, we have an hour left. Let's continue. Some wildflowers blooming on the side of the road here. Look how green that field is. That very dark green color growing on that side. And here in Munich, you're basically at the, maybe not the foothills, but the entryway into the German Alps. And off that direction to the south, where you'd end up in Austria eventually, but you can, I can see it, maybe you cannot on the video, but there are mountain ranges. I've seen a few of the crucifix crosses around the city here today, but across this field, mountains off in the distance. But yeah, I was looking at that. It reminded me, the first time I ever went to Europe was in 2016, 10 years ago. And all the fields through Denmark and Sweden kind of look similar to that. Could use a little more shade along this path. Down to about 40 minutes left, if my walking pace is accurate. Good day for a convertible ride. Dasani, one of the more popular bottled waters in the United States. Did you know they sold them here in Europe? So I stopped for a little hydration break. They actually don't sell them here. This was left over from the airport yesterday out of Denver. $5 for a bottled water at the Denver airport. I thought I would use it on the airplane on the ride over. But Lufthansa actually did such a good job. You could get a half-liter bottle anytime you wanted one. Their service was fantastic. Food was really good too. So I had this left over, which comes in great for the walk today, as we are 2.5 kilometers left to Feldkirchen. And as I finish this water, my bag will get just a little bit lighter. You can see the gear down there, and we're heading that direction. Very popular bike path here on a Sonntag, Sunday afternoon. All right, break's over. Can't just lay there getting a suntan all day. And I just crossed the street from the left to the right. You can probably figure out why. A little bit more shade on this side. some rubbish receptacles, recycling. Did get some good news a little bit ago. My hotel room is ready for check-in at 1 p.m. Batting 1,000 on that because I was able to check into the premiere last night, actually yesterday afternoon at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So they just sent me an email and said that your room is ready. About 15 minutes left to walk in. Oh, this is so much better right here. I love the backyards of Europe, Germany in particular. Plenty of privacy, and always have like immaculate gardens, especially this time of year. We're what, mid-May, latter part of May. Everything's starting to bloom quite nicely. So I mentioned before, today's a Sunday, meaning nothing's open. Really don't know what to do for the rest of the afternoon as far as where to go. The train line out to Feldkirchen is under construction right now, so I'll have to figure out some transportation options. And then tomorrow, being Monday, everything opens back up. The exception being tomorrow is a national public holiday. It is a Pentecostal day. I don't remember what it's called, but it's celebrated nationwide. All your grocery stores, many restaurants close until Tuesday. So there's that. Back home tomorrow is Memorial Day in the United States. But unlike Germany, most things will be open. All right, I think I can go left here and then down in probably only just a couple minutes. Let's finish this walk to the new hotel. And I think I got a chance to beat the Google walking time estimate by a little bit. There's a tunnel down there, but I don't think I go that far. I'm going to consult my map. Well, yeah, even a little bit closer than I anticipated. Only about 4 minutes to get down here. But this is home for the next 2 nights here in Feldkirchen on the outskirts of Munich. Beat the clock by 7 minutes from what Google told me it was going to take to walk here. 1 hour and 30. I made it in 1:23, and then add the 10-minute stop for water, the Dasani water break, so maybe a little bit quicker. All right, we're gonna go drop the gear off, figure out the plan for the rest of the day. Thanks for watching on the trip into Munich.